All right, y'all, welcome to the show. Got a lot to get to, so in just a second, Biden absolutely snapped at reporters. That's fun. We'll talk about that. Elon Musk is hell-bent on continuing to destroy Twitter. He proposed a policy change that is so stupid that even his own followers are dunking on him and are pissed about it. Then we'll get to Trump's defense pick is outright arguing in favor of carpet bombing. So war crimes done. It looks like that's going to be what he does in his second term. Then we'll get to some positive news. Biden made a change to Social Security on his way out the door. And it is unbelievable, man. I'm shocked at how based of a policy change this is. And then later on, Trump's favorite president, the libertarian psycho anarcho-capitalist Javier Milei, he's pushing for a policy change that is so extreme that I guarantee you if you polled it, it would be less than 10% support. It'd be like 5% support for this policy. Just wait until you hear it and you'll understand why. So we have that and more. We got a Jon Stewart segment among many other things. Everybody do me a big favor. Please subscribe to the channel. That helps out massively. Costs you absolutely nothing. And much love to everybody who supports us on Patreon or tips with that thanks button on YouTube. Remember, guys, this is real independent media, not fake independent media. And I'm very proud of that fact. Never talk to an advertiser, never talk to a corporation, never talk to a billionaire, never talk to a foreign government. You guys fund this show from the ground up, and we have the default ads on YouTube. We could not do it without you, so much, much love. All right, let's go ahead and dive into it here. So Biden kind of lost it at reporters here. They stumbled on a very sensitive topic for him. Let's watch.
Do you still believe he's a threat to democracy?
I think what he did was a genuine threat to democracy.
So that's obviously about Trump. He's saying, yeah, what Trump did is a genuine threat to democracy. By the way, why don't you act like it? Why doesn't Kamala act like it? She pieced out the second she lost, and nobody's heard from her since, right? If Trump is really a genuine threat, which he is, by the way, you guys are acting like this is just a normal, like, yeah, okay, there was an election, and we lost, and they won, and everything's all hunky-dory, and it doesn't work. It doesn't gel with previous commentary on Trump, commentary which was correct. This guy's an authoritarian. This guy's a dictator wannabe. He tried to overturn the last election. He did the fake elector slates, which is obviously illegal. So if that's all true, which it is, act like it. Act like it. But we haven't gotten to the part yet.
My being the oldest president, I know more world leaders than any one of you ever met in your whole goddamn life.
Okay, that was kind of aggressive.
My being the oldest president, I know more world leaders than any one of you ever met in your whole goddamn life.
So he's responding to basically a question about being the oldest president, right? And it's a sensitive topic because he genuinely and sincerely feels like I could have beaten Trump. I should not have stepped aside for Kamala Harris. He actually thinks that's true. It's totally delusional. His own internal polling showed him losing over 400 electoral college votes if he stayed in. He's lying to himself, but I think he actually drank his own Kool-Aid. And so now when he's asked about age, he says this: I met more world leaders than you ever met in your goddamn life. What a weird flex. What I never understood. This isn't just about Biden. I've never understood the flex of like, I know people. And like, who cares? Why? Why does that matter? Why is that important? Are we all supposed to be like impressed by that? You were a senator for like 700 years. And now you're the sitting president and you were vice president. I would expect you to know every world leader. Which, by the way, like what a simpleton thing to say, because that says nothing about your ideology, about your philosophy, about your beliefs, about your preferred policies, about what you did for the American people. To just be like, I know people. It's like a small man thing to say. That is not like a serious way of responding to a question. Because, by the way, I mean, deep down, he's got to know. I do think he's lied to himself and he thinks he would have won. But he knows he failed in that debate massively. He knows his brain was melting out of his ears. He knows that he is past his prime, to say the least. He knows that. And then you got to wonder, does he know maybe more than he's letting on, right? I mean, that was the speculation, that he actually has something that's like diagnosable with the good days and the bad days and the sundowning and the, you know, just sometimes being totally incapable of getting through a sentence, losing his way in sentences where he should not be losing his way. So I don't know, but look, like he gave Hillary Clinton the Presidential Medal of Freedom the other day. And as I'm watching this, I'm going, so the first person who gave us Trump was Hillary Clinton. And now the second person who gave us Trump again was Biden. And it's almost like they're handing out participation trophies to each other. Right? Like if the stakes are as high as everybody says they are, and they are, maybe a little bit more self-reflection, you know, a little bit more accountability for the fact that Hillary gave us Trump and you gave us Trump. And there is none. It's just, again, I'll play it for you again, but this is just old man anger at the fact that now he's on his way out. And honestly, if we're keeping it real, his version of politics is also dying.
My being the oldest president, I know more world leaders than any one of you ever met in your whole goddamn life.
So what, dude? So what? I mean, he's snapping. He's snapping. I would love to get, we're never going to know his real thoughts on how he did in office and what he thinks about Trump winning again and mistakes. He's never going to tell you the straight dope, like the real things he thinks. He's very guarded as a sitting president and soon to be former president. But man, to be a fly on the wall when he has the real conversations with his wife or something, right? Because he's got to know deep down, like, man, there's a lot of things I regret. There's a lot of things I would have done differently. We talked about it. If Build Back Better got passed, I think Kamala would have won. Does he know that? Does he believe that? Does he blame Manchin and Sinema? Because if he did, that'd be correct. I would love it if we had a president who was with it enough to make an argument for himself, number one. Number two, hold the Kirsten Sinemas and the Joe Manchins accountable and point the finger directly at them. Hey, you know, if we got this passed, we would have won, right? You do know that, right? You do know you're the problem, right? Or Netanyahu is the problem because you keep sending him money and weapons as he carpet bombs babies and you seemingly have no problem with it whatsoever. So I don't know, man. The old man is, he's lost his patience. Let's see if there's anything left in here.
Just to reiterate there, President Biden calling former President Trump, President-elect Donald Trump, a genuine threat to democracy. And the question that was asked that produced that answer about him knowing more leaders than any of the reporters in their whole goddamn lives was about Trump ending birthright citizenship.
Wait, he said that in response to a question about Trump ending birthright citizenship? That doesn't seem right. It's just such a weird flex. I know more world leaders than you've ever met. I know, because you were referencing ones from like the 1970s while you were sitting in office. Remember when he said, I was talking to President Mitterrand? That's like some dude from the 1970s in France. He meant he was talking to Macron and he said Mitterrand. Like, the issue is not that you haven't met a lot of world leaders, dude. That was not the problem. And everybody knows that. So it's time to go. It's time to go, dude. I don't want Trump getting in there. He is. I don't want him in there, but he is going to be in there. But there's a lot of self-reflection that needs to be done, and I don't think he's the kind of guy to do it. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.